Okay, when you're shading, I just wanted to show you guys how you have to have multiple values. Here's a circle I drew, right? If I shade this entire circle, one value, I just shade all the way across it, like this, which I've seen some people doing, so which is only normal if you don't know how to shade. Shade the whole thing, one value, it still looks like a flat circle. The only way to make this look three-dimensional is I have to decide where a light's going to hit it. Let's say I'm going to make my light hit right here. So that means I need to have this area, this side, lighter. I can erase out highlights with my eraser. I'm going to have a shadow, a cast shadow, maybe coming out like this, or maybe over a little further. If I make my light hit right here, like that, already it looks a little bit more three-dimensional, right? But then if I start taking my pencil and really making it darker, and right now I'm just using my HB pencil, but if I wanted to get even darker on this edge over here, besides just pushing harder and putting more graphite down, I can also switch to a 4B pencil. So you can also see that I'm going multiple directions to build this up, right? What I want to do as I get darker is I want to make it so I don't see so much of the paper showing through. So now as I slowly, and I'm going to just lightly gradate this lighter gray that I made, lighter shading into the white. So there's not a hard edge. Hard edges make something look flat instead of three-dimensional. So I'm going to lightly gradate this so there's not a hard edge. I can also use my my finger to smudge. So I can use my finger to blend some of this in and make it even softer if I'd like. Right? So I can either keep going over it with my pencil or I can blend it in with my finger. Same thing with my shadow underneath. My cast shadow has to be all your objects need to have shadows underneath them. If they don't, they'll look like they're floating in space. So again, you guys should be taking your time. I'm doing this quickly for the recorded video because I can't make them really long. And I don't want to outline I have a guide, a light guide, but I don't want to have hard outline. If I put a hard outline around things, that also tends to make them look kind of cartoon-like and flat instead of dimensional. So instead, I just do value changes. So I'm making it darker as it really comes up to the circle and goes underneath it. This is where the shadow would come out from under it. And then I have it get a little lighter as it moves away in space. Just like I'm going to have it get darker on this side because the light is coming from this side. So it is shading that makes something look three-dimensional. So now it doesn't look like a circle anymore, which is a two-dimensional shape. It's starting to look like a sphere, right? A three-dimensional shape. And that's because I'm thinking about light logic, how the light would hit this object. Of course, in your still eyes, you're actually looking at photographs of objects and seeing where the lights are, where the shadows are, and you want to pay attention to where you see the lights and the shadows so your objects will get three-dimensional instead of flat. You just can't do them all one solid color. And if I had a highlight, I could just, again, go back in here and erase out my highlight. Okay? Quick job.